Namaste and welcome everyone back to Shunya Talks, our Sunday special. Very recently, from last year, we started the studying of the Agamas, one of the most important compilation of all the texts that were written down as the Buddha spoke. And these real-time notes have become the basis of unrevealing the wisdom that lies hidden within these texts that help us to see things clearly. And as we go about to study another set of section today of the Agamas, let us quickly welcome, if Dr. Lim is here, we'll have him on the screen. Otherwise, we quickly go and practice a 9 to 0 so that we set the tone for our mind to be more focused and not get distracted while we study the Agamas today. Okay, so let's quickly go and practice a 9 to 0. So, getting a mind focused. Good morning, doctor. As
Morning.
Buddha did, I got to study that in the Diamond Sutra when you translated that Buddha first, after preparing his seat, first thing he does is meditate and then he answers the
Yeah,
question. And
meditation.
that's
Yeah,
what we have been doing as a practice every time we start a practice with meditation.
yeah.
So
As per the
today,
tradition. Yeah,
yeah, tradition. So today, Doctor, we continue the series on the Agamas. And let me just quickly let everybody know we are doing the Ekotara Agama. There are other three more parts of the Agamas that we have to still continue doing. But this is being translated from Sanskrit to Chinese by Gautama Sangadeva from the
yeah.
Kushan Empire.
Kusan.
It
Yeah.
is known as Kashmir, but not the
Kashmir.
current Jammu and Kashmir. It was the whole empire. Yeah. And during the Eastern Qin dynasty. So these records are specifically mentioned with the date and time, with the ruler and the one who's translating.
Yeah.
Everything are
Everything
perfectly
is clearly.
mentioned very
Yeah,
clearly. No ambiguity in the originality of the text. These are
yeah.
real-time notes why the Buddha spoke. They have been taken down by scholars and passed down not by memory, by the Indian culture of writing
By
down,
by by writing.
by writing,
Never by
and
memory. Yeah.
never from, it cannot be. And so from Chinese to English by Dr. Lim, definitely thank you so much to give back India its own heritage that went all the way from India to China. You give it back to us. At least you open the door maybe as much as you can, and the next generation will carry it onwards. So
Yeah.
today, Doctor, we go into taking up the verse 18.1 of the
One. Yeah.
Ekotara Agama,
Yeah.
conscience and modesty.
Conscience and modesty. Okay.
Modesty. Okay.
Let's
Thus,
proceed. Yeah.
I have heard. One time, the Buddha was staying at Anath Pindida's ashrama in Jetwana of Shravasti. At that time, the Bhagwan addressed the bhikkhus. Actually, it should be bhikshus.
The Bhikshus. Yeah. Bhikshus.
There are two wonderful dharmas that protect the world. What are these two dharmas? They are shame, and remorse, apratapya. Bhikshus, if these two dharmas did not exist, the world would not distinguish between father and mother, brothers, wives, friends, elders, or juniors. It would be no different from pigs, chickens, dogs, cattle, sheep, and other such domesticated animals. Because these two dharmas protect the world,
Put it
there is
over. Yeah.
a distinction between parents, brothers, wives, elders, and juniors, and the world is not reduced to the level of the animals. Therefore, bhikshus, you should cultivate shame and remorse. In this way, bhikshus, you should train yourself, thus should you train. When the bhikshus heard what the Buddha said, they followed it with joy. How apt at this very time, doctor. Shame and remorse.
Yeah. No, you should have shame, as a human being, Actually, it reminds me the famous saying of Confucius. Confucius say, if you lost the sense of shame, you no longer a human being. Yeah, yeah. I think there's some echo in the
No, doctor. For me, it is fine. I don't know.
happen. Yeah, yeah. So I think this is the same thing, Okay. So whatever we do, I think there is we should draw a line. We call it a moral. This is a red line. You should not cross this line. When you cross this line, you stop to become a human being. Yeah, I think not only Buddha said that. I think many scholars also say that. Okay, this thing. But today there are so many shameless people around. Okay, they swindle money, they do this thing, and they don't have any remorse, Okay, so when they commit a mistake, even you find out from them, they don't think that they have done anything wrong. Okay, and the worst thing is that they think that they can manipulate you,
Yeah.
This thing. So they already lost the sense of shame and remorse. Yeah. So what should we do with this kind of people? We whack them, we punish them. Because if you condone the mistake, you yourself is the wrong ruler. You should not condone. You should not condone. You should not let it pass. We should punish them, We should punish them. So there's nothing to do with compassion and nothing to do with this thing,
Meta.
Okay, those who are shameless, who don't have any remorse, okay, we take action on them. Very strong action on them, yeah.
And doctor, we have Panchashila to help us understand in which limitation you should have shame
Yeah.
and remorse. That's the only criteria, not much.
Yeah. Actually, as you say, Panchasila is extremely important in the practice of Zen, Okay, without Panchasila, there is no practice. There's no practice. Okay, this thing. What happened to this society? If people do not observe the basic morality, this society will collapse now. The society will collapse. Okay, then the people don't care now. Okay, they don't worry about the consequences. Okay, they don't worry about the karma. They wouldn't worry about anything, Okay, no, they talk about karma. They talk about God. Okay, they go to temple. They pray to the God. Okay, this thing. No, one they are shameless. No, there's no God. Okay, whatever they do become pure drama. No? Just for the sake of. Okay, so this kind of people we should not condone them.
No. Echo?
We should not
Is
let
there
them
any
go
echo?
without punishment. We should punish them. Yeah.
Yeah. So, doctor, let's take the. These are nice short. Ekotara Agamas are
Yeah,
short
so-
little verses like. And Ekotara Agama, doctor, let's quickly remind people that Ekotara means one after the other, numbers, right? So that
Yeah,
is why
yeah.
here you're talking about two things, shame and remorse.
Yeah. Now talk about two people. No, it's actually Ekotara mean you explain step by step.
Uh-huh.
Step by step. Yeah.
One
Ekotara
after
means
the
step
other.
by step.
Step by step. Okay. So
Yeah.
now we do the 18.2, two people. Okay. Thus, I have heard. One time the Buddha was staying at Anathapindida's ashrama in Jetwana of Shravasti. At that time, the Bhagwan addressed the bhikshus saying, there are two kinds of people who, even until the end of their lives, never truly are satisfied. Who are these two? One is the person who accumulates wealth and hoards it, never using it. The other is the person who acquires wealth and takes joy in giving it away. These two, O bhikshus, never experience contentment before their passing. At that time, a bhikshu addressed the Bhagwan saying, Bhagwan, we do not fully understand the concise teaching you have given. What does it mean to accumulate wealth and hoard it? What does it mean to acquire wealth and give it away? We earnestly request the Bhagwan to expound upon this teaching in detail. The Bhagwan said, listen attentively, reflect deeply on this, and I shall explain the meaning to you in detail. The Bhagwan said, there is a certain Kulaputra, noble born person, who learns various Vidya skills. Some engage in farming, some in writing and correspondence, some in calculations, some study astronomy, some geography, some practice divination, some serve as messengers in distant lands, and some become royal ministers. Regardless of extreme heat or cold, hunger or exhaustion, they strive diligently for their livelihood. Through such efforts, they accumulate artha, that's wealth, yet they neither enjoy it themselves nor share it with their wife, servants, relatives, or kin. Their hoarded wealth may be seized by the king, stolen by the thieves, consumed by fire, or swept away by floods, scattered beyond their reach. Ultimately, their possessions are dispersed among others in the household and do not remain with them. This, O bhikshus, is called accumulating wealth but never using it. The Bhagwan continued. And how does one distribute wealth wisely? There is a certain Kulaputra, noble born person, who, like the previous one, learns various skills. Some engage in farming, writing, and correspondence, some in calculations, some in studying of astronomy, some geography, some practice divination, some serve as messengers in distant lands, and some become royal ministers. Regardless of extreme heat or cold, hunger or exhaustion, they strive diligently for their livelihood. Through such efforts, they accumulate wealth. But unlike the previous person, they practice dana, generosity. They share their wealth with parents, servants, wife, and kin. Furthermore, they extend their generosity to Shramana and Brahmana, performing meritorious deeds and planting seeds of heavenly blessings. This, O bhikshus, is called gaining wealth and practicing generosity. Thus, these are the two kinds of people who never feel satisfied: the one who hoards wealth and the one who shares it freely. The first should be urged to abandon attachment, while the second one should be encouraged to continue their noble practice. Therefore, O bhikshus, train yourself in this way. When the bhikshus heard what the Buddha said, they followed it with joy. Yes, doctor.
Yeah. Actually, dana also is a way we practice detachment, give away, then you detach with the money, you detach with the wealth, and this thing. Okay. Now, the principle is that the more you give, actually, the more you gain. Okay, this always the case. Yeah. So we always say that it's always good to give. No need to worry. Whatever you give, it never lost. No. You come back, this thing. Well, of course, we never, when we give the dana, we never expect any reward or anything. Yeah.
But doctor, here
So yeah.
one thing we learn, like in Diamond Sutra also, that it's the attitude to give. But for giving, you should have. So definitely, you need to work for prosperity. You should have to give. So your work should also be there. People cannot just hang around doing nothing.
Yeah. No, if you don't have money, how to give?
Yeah, technically right.
If no prosperity, how to give? Yeah.
Yeah.
So in this, the Buddha say for a brahmanas, the homebound, no, okay, there are certain characteristics you should have to call yourself elders. One, you must have a lot of knowledge to step with other people. Secondly, you should be wealthy. Even 2,600 years ago, Buddha made it very clear. You must be wealthy to call yourself an elders. That's why you look at this the Lotus Sutra, no. All the elders are very wealthy. None of them
Yeah.
are poor men, None of them is poor men. Yeah.
So Buddha definitely support prosperity. Buddha support you doing duty and talk
Yeah,
about
for
prosperity.
prosperity, yeah. Like Anatta Pinika, Anatta Pinika, this getted a lot of well, and Buddha keep on praising him, you know.
Yeah.
Buddha praising him that he is a fine example. He's a good example. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Let's take the other verse, EA
yeah,
18.3,
yeah,
Dharma
yeah.
and giving alms and alms giving.
I'm giving, yeah.
Yeah. Thus have I heard. One time the Buddha was staying at Anathapindida's ashrama in Jetwana of Shravasti. At that time, the Buddha said to the bhikshus, "You should always practice the giving of dharma, not the giving of food. Why is this? Because you now have the blessing of karmic rewards, which causes my disciples to revere the dharma and not crave material gain. If they were to crave material gain, it would be a great fault in the eyes of the Tathagata. Why is this? Because sentient beings would fall to discern the dharma and would thereby defile the teachings of the Bhagavad. Having defiled the teachings of the Bhagavad, they would no longer attain the path to nirvana. And I would feel ashamed. Why is this? Because the disciples of the Tathagata, being attached to material gain, would not practice the dharma, fail to discern the dharma, and defile the teachings of the Bhagavad. Having defiled the teachings of the Bhagavad, they would not attain the path to nirvana. Now, bhikshus, you should focus on the giving of dharma, not on the giving of material things. By doing so, you will gain praise, become widely learned, revere the dharma, and not crave wealth. This will free you from shame. Why is this? Because the disciples of the Tathagata give the good dharma and do not crave the giving of material things. Therefore, bhikshus, you should focus on the giving of the dharma and not learn the giving of wealth. Bhikshus, I have explained this teaching. For what reason have I explained this cause? At that time, the bhikshus said to the Buddha, "We only wish, Buddha, that you explain and differentiate everything for us." At that time, Buddha spoke to the bhikshus. Once there was a person who asked me for alms. At that time, I had some leftover food which could be discarded. Two bhikshus came from a distant place, their bodies weak and their faces altered. At that time, I spoke to the bhikshus, saying, "There is some leftover food which can be discarded. Whenever necessary, take it and use it for yourself." Then one bhikshu thought to himself, "Today the Buddha has some leftover food which can be discarded. Whenever necessary, we can take it. If we do not take the food, we should leave it in a clean place. If we leave it in water, it would be inappropriate. But now we should take this food to relieve our hunger and regain our strength." At that time, the other bhikshus reflected again. The Buddha also said, one should give the gift of the dharma, not the gift of material desire. The reason for this is that the greatest form of giving is the giving of material possessions, but the most esteemed gift is the giving of the dharma. I now can endure without food for the entire day and still manage on my own without needing to receive the merit from others' offerings. At that time, the bhikshus calmed his mind and did not take the offering. His body remained weak and did not concern himself with his life. At that time, the second bhikshu thought to himself, "The Buddha also has some leftover food that can be discarded. If we do not take the food, we will become weak. Now, by using this food, we can fill our hunger, regain our strength, and have peace and comfort day and night." At that time, the bhikshu took the food and was at ease day and night with his strength restored. The Buddha spoke to the bhikshus. Although that bhikshu took the offering and removed his hunger, regaining his strength, he is not as worthy of respect, honor, and reverence as the first bhikshu. The first bhikshu is widely known, his name resounds far, and he is content with the precepts, easy to satisfy and full of discipline. You bhikshus should learn to give the gift of the dharma, not the gift of material desire. What I have said previously is based on this cause and condition. At that time, after the Buddha had spoken these words, he rose from his seat and departed. At that time, Many bhikshus thought. Earlier, the Buddha briefly explained the essential points but did not expound on them in detail. Then he rose from his seat and entered a quiet chamber. Now, among this assembly, who is capable of elaborating on this brief teaching and explaining it in full? At that time, many bhikshus again thought, now the Venerable Sariputra is praised by the Buddha. We should all go to him. Then many bhikshus went to the Venerable Shariputra, paid their respects, and sat down to one side. After they had taken their seats, they conveyed to Shariputra all they had heard from the Buddha. At that time, Venerable Shariputra said to the bhikshus, how does a disciple of the Buddha become attached to gain and offerings without practicing the Dharma? And how does a disciple of the Buddha devote themselves to practicing the Dharma without being attached to the gain and offerings? At that time, the many bhikshus said to Shariputra, we have come from afar to ask about this meaning so that we may practice it. Venerable Shariputra, if you are capable, please expound upon it for us in detail. Listen carefully, listen carefully. Reflect deeply on this, and I will expound its meaning to you in detail. At that time, many bhikshus replied, so it is. Shariputra said, a disciple of the Buddha should cultivate tranquility, mindfulness, and peace. Yet, the Shravaka disciples do not practice in this way. The Buddha has taught the Dharma to extinguish defilements, but the bhikshus do not eradicate them. Instead, they fall into negligence and give rise to scattered thoughts. They fail to practice what should be done, instead engage in what should not be practiced. What At that time, the noble elder bhikshus felt a sense of shame in three ways. What are the three? First, the Buddha constantly delights in places of tranquility. Yet the Shravaka disciples do not practice accordingly. This brings shame to the elder bhikshus. Second, the Buddha teaches that one should extinguish defilements, yet the bhikshus do not do so. This brings shame to the elder bhikshus. Third, when one gives rise to scattered thoughts and lacks a focused mind, this brings shame to the elder bhikshus. The noble ones should know that ordinary bhikshus also feel shame in three ways. What are the three? First, the Buddha constantly delights in places of tranquility. Yet the Shravaka disciples do not practice accordingly. This brings shame to the ordinary bhikshus. Second, the Buddha teaches that one should extinguish defilements, yet those bhikshus do not do so. This brings shame to the ordinary bhikshus. Third, when one gives rise to scattered thoughts and lacks a focused mind, this brings shame to the ordinary bhikshus. The noble ones should know that young bhikshus also feel shame in three ways. And what are the three? First, the disciples of the Buddha constantly delight in places of tranquility, yet the Shravaka disciples do not practice accordingly. This brings shame to the young bhikshus. Second, the Buddha teaches that one should extinguish defilements, yet those bhikshus do not do so. This brings shame to the young bhikshus. Third, when one gives rise to scattered thoughts and lacks a focused mind, this brings shame to the young bhikshus. Thus, noble ones, those who are attached to wealth and possessions but not devoted to the Dharma bring shame upon themselves. The bhikshu said to the Shariputra, how does a bhikshu become attached to the Dharma and not to wealth? Shariputra said, bhikshus in this way. The Buddha delights in places of tranquility and the Shravaka disciples also learn to delight in such places. The Buddha has taught that certain defilements should be extinguished and the bhikshus accordingly extinguish them. They are neither negligent nor distracted. They practice what should be practiced and avoid what should not be practiced. Noble ones, you should know that elder bhikshus gain a good reputation in the three ways. What are the three? First, the Buddha delights in places of tranquility and the Shravaka disciples also delight in such places. This brings a good reputation to the elder bhikshus. Second, the Buddha teaches the one that one should extinguish defilements and the bhikshus extinguish them accordingly. This brings a good reputation to the elder bhikshus. Third, they do not give rise to scattered thoughts and their minds remain focused. This brings good reputation to the elder bhikshus. The nobles one should know that ordinary bhikshus also gain a good reputation in three ways. What are the three? First, the Buddha delights in places of tranquility and the Shravaka disciples also delight in such places. This brings a good reputation to the ordinary bhikshus. Second, the Buddha teaches that one should extinguish defilements, and the bhikshus extinguish them accordingly. This brings a good reputation to the ordinary bhikshus. Third, they do not give rise to scattered thoughts, and their minds remain focused. This brings good reputation to the ordinary bhikshus. The noble ones should know that the young bhikshus also gain a good reputation in three ways. What are the three? First, the Buddha delights in places of tranquility, and the young bhikshus also delight in such places. This brings good reputation to the young bhikshus. Second, the Buddha teaches that one should extinguish defilements, and the bhikshus extinguish them accordingly. This brings a good reputation to the young bhikshus. Third, they do not give rise to scattered thoughts, and their minds remain focused. This brings a good reputation to the young bhikshus. The noble ones should know that greed is a disease and a great calamity, and anger is the same. Those who extinguish greed, sensual desire, and anger attain the middle path, giving rise to the vision and wisdom. All bonds come to rest and they reach nirvana. Miserliness and envy are also severe afflictions. Burning the mind with defilements and arrogance runs deep. Deception and falsehood are not genuine, and those who lack shame and remorse cannot abandon them. Sensual desire corrupts righteousness, and both pride and excessive pride are not easily relinquished. When these two forms of pride are extinguished, one attains the middle path, giving rise to vision and wisdom. All bonds come to rest and one reaches nirvana. The bhikshus asked, how, Venerable Shariputra, does one attain the middle path, giving rise to vision and wisdom, bringing all bonds to rest and reaching nirvana? Shariputra said, noble ones should know that this refers to the noble eightfold path, namely right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. This noble ones is the middle path, which gives rise to vision and wisdom, brings all bonds to rest, and leads to nirvana. At that time, the many bhikshus, having heard what the words of the Venerable Shariputra, they followed it with joy. Long one, but I think so
Yeah,
important one.
it's a very long, what do you call, very long sutra and cover many points, no?
Yeah.
Correct. But in short, two things now, material and dharma. You can donate in material and you can donate in dharma. And you see when this Buddha, actually he is talking, this one mainly talking to the Samana, no? Samana. Samana don't have much to give, no? They have three ropes and they one more what to give. Okay, but when they beg for the food, then they should exchange the dharma by right. Okay, now when the beg for the food, it's not a quiet begging, It's not quiet begging. So normally they will exchange some presentary, okay. Then they will always ask, okay, are you in good health or is everything in the family are in good harmony? Everything. These are the standard questions that a monk they are asked when they receive the food. Okay. So if someone is what they call is sick in the house, sometimes the monk also can go and treat the sickness. No, because many of the monks actually they are herbalists and physicians. Okay, and this tradition carry until today, Even in China, even in Thailand, many of the monastery actually, even the Tibetan one, they give this herbal globules, everything, herbal this thing for free until today. Until today, this. Okay, even though you have nothing to give, but you give Dhamma, there's Dhamma. Because Buddha is talking to the monk. But if a Buddha talking to the Brahmanas, okay, the language change a little bit now. The Kima said that you should distribute your wealth. You should always distribute your wealth, Okay, give the arms, give the ropes, give the food, give the shelter. okay, to other people, to the needy, not only to the monk, to the needy, you know. That's why what they call Anatta Pindika always say he give the food not only to the monk, to the lay people, even to the animals, no. When the animal in need, also they give it to the animals. Yeah, yeah. So these are the thing that we should do. So now actually the whole thing maybe look complicated, but you remember, no? What they only one central idea is that the giving of dharma is more important than giving immaterial. Okay, so that you should not say that, oh, I have no money, I don't need to do dana. No. Okay, you have no money, you can give this dharma.
Like the Chinese proverb, doctor, better than the fish is to teach them fishing.
Yeah, yeah, give them fishing. Give them a
No,
net
you,
better than giving them a fish. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So doctor,
Yeah, yeah.
let's take the next one, 18.4.
Next one, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Kasapa.
So, yeah. Thus have I heard. One time the Buddha was staying in Rajagriha at the Kalandaka Venuvana together with a great assembly of 500 bhikshus. At that time, the Buddha, when it was the right time, put on his robe, took his alms bowl, and entered the Rajgriha to beg for food in one of the streets. At that time, in that street, there was a Brahmin woman who wished to offer food to a Brahmin. As she stepped out of her door, she saw the Buddha from afar and immediately approached him, asking, "Have you seen a Brahmin?" Actually, doctor, it should be a Brahmana, right? It should not be Brahmin.
Yeah, Brahman. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. At
No, no,
that
no. It's
time,
Brahmin.
this is Brahmina.
Actually, in a Chinese name, Parliament is a Brahmin. Not,
So
not,
it is
not
Brahmin.
Brahmana. Brahmin.
So Brahmin in Chinese is Polomon
It's Parliament.
and Brahmana.
Parliament means Brahmin, but if a Brahmana is a fancy. Quite
Ah,
Chinese differentiate Brahmana and Brahmin very clearly, you know.
fantastic.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is definitely the Brahmin. Okay.
Yeah,
At that
Brahmin, yeah.
time, Venerable Mahakashyapa was already in that street. The Buddha then raised his hand and pointed, saying, "This is the
It's the
Brahmin."
Brahmin.
For to Mahakashyapa, okay. At
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
time, the Brahmin woman gazed intently at the face of the Buddha and remained silent. Then the Buddha spoke this verse: "One who is without desire and without hatred, who has abandoned ignorance and is free from delusion, one whose outflows are completely ended and arhat, such one is called a Brahmin.
Yeah.
One who is without desire and without hatred, who has abandoned ignorance and is free from delusion, who has relinquished the bonds and fetters, such a one is called a Brahmin.
Brahmin, yeah.
One who is without desire and without hatred, who has
Hatred, yeah.
abandoned ignorance and is free from delusion, who has severed the pride of I and mine, such
Yeah.
one is called a Brahmin. If one wishes to know the Dharma as spoken by the three Buddhas, with utmost sincerity, take refuge in them, the highest, the supreme, and with none above. At that time, the Buddha said to Mahakashyapa, "You may go and manifest yourself before this Brahmin woman, so that she may be freed from her past transgressions." At that time, Mahakashyapa received the Buddha's instructions, went to the Brahmin woman's house, took his seat. Then the Brahmin woman prepared a variety of food and drinks and offered them to Mahakashyapa. At that time, Mahakashyapa accepted the food and drink. Wishing to guide others, he spoke this Dana Gatha for her. The sacrificial fire is supreme. Among hymns, the verses are the finest. The king is the highest among men. Among all rivers, the ocean is the greatest. Among stars, the moon is the foremost. And among sources of light, the sun shines first. In the four directions, above and below, across all realms and lands, among gods and humans in the world, the Buddha is the most supreme. Those who seek blessings should take refuge in the three Buddhas. At that time, the Brahmin woman, having heard these words, was filled with joy and excitement. Unable to contain herself, she stepped forward and said to Venerable Mahakashyapa, "May the Brahmin kindly accept my invitation to regularly take meals at this house." At that time, Mahakashapa accepted her invitation and took meals at her place. After he had finished eating, the Brahmin woman brought a low seat and sat before him. Then Mahakashapa gradually expounded the profound dharma to her, discussing topics such as generosity, morality, and the path to heavenly rebirth. He explained the impurity of sensual desires, the supremacy of eliminating defilements, and the importance of renunciation. Seeing that the Brahmin woman's mind had opened and she was filled with great joy, the Venerable Mahakashapa proceeded to teach the fundamental truths that the Buddhas always proclaim: suffering, its cause, its cessation, and the path. At that time, as the Venerable Mahakashapa finished expounding the Dharma to the Brahmin woman, she, right there on a seat, became completely free from all defilements and attained the purity of the Dharma eye. Just as a newly cleaned white cloth, free of stains, easily absorbs dye, so too she attained the pure Dharma eye on that very seat. Having realized the truth, seen the Dharma, and comprehended it without doubt, she attained fearlessness and took refuge in the three jewels: the Buddha, the Dharma, and the noble Sangha. While committing to uphold the five precepts, then, after having imparted the profound teachings, the Venerable Mahakashapa rose from his seat and departed. When Mahakashapa had not been gone for long, the woman's husband returned home. The Brahmin saw that his wife's complexion was extremely radiant, unlike before. At that time, the Brahmin immediately asked his wife, and she explained the entire incident to him in detail. Upon hearing this, the Brahmin took his wife and together they went to the ashrama. When they arrived at the place of the Buddha, the Brahmin exchanged greetings with the Buddha and then sat to one side. The Brahmin's wife bowed with her head at the Buddha's feet and also sat to one side. Then the Brahmin said to the Buddha, "Earlier, a Brahmin came to my house. Where is he now?" At that time, the Venerable Mahakashapa was not far from the Buddha, sitting cross-legged with an upright body and focused mind, contemplating the profound Dharma. At that time, Bhagwan pointed to the Mahakashapa from afar and said, "This is the esteemed Brahmin." The Brahmin said, "How is this, Gautama? Is a Shramana the same as a Brahmin? Are a Shramana and a Brahmin not different?" Buddha said, "If one speaks of a Shramana, then I myself am a one. Why is that? Because I am a Shramana. I have fully observed all the precepts and disciplines of a Shramana. Now, if one speaks of a Brahmin, I too am a Brahmin. Why is that? Because I am a Brahmin, I fully understand the practices and conduct of the past Brahmins. If one speaks of a Shramana, Mahakashapa is one. Why is that? Because Mahakashapa fully upholds all the Shramana disciplines. If one speaks of a Brahmin, Mahakashapa is also one. Why is that? Because Mahakashapa fully understands the precepts observed by the Brahmins. I do not call, at that time Buddha spoke this verse, I do not call one a Brahmin, merely skilled in chants and spells, proclaiming birth in Brahma's realm. Such a one is not free from bonds, one unbound beyond rebirth, who has severed all the ties, no longer seeking heavenly bliss. That one is a Shramana, a true Brahmin. At that time, Brahmin said to the Buddha, "When you speak of bonds, what are referred to as bonds?" Buddha replied, "Craving is a bond, ill will is a bond, ignorance is a bond. The Tathagata is free from this craving, completely extinguished without remainder. Likewise, ill will and ignorance are also eradicated. The Tathagata no longer has these bonds." The Brahmin said, "May the Buddha please expound the profound and wondrous Dharma so that there will no longer be these bonds and attachments." At that time, the Buddha gradually expounded the profound teachings to the Brahmin. The discourse included teachings on generosity, morality, and the path to heavenly rebirth, emphasizing the impurity of desire, the supreme goal of eliminating defilements, and the importance of renunciation. Then, knowing that the Brahmin's mind had opened and was filled with great joy, the Buddha taught him the Dharma that all past Buddhas had always proclaimed: suffering, its origin, its cessation, and the path. At that time, the Brahmin, while seated, became free from all defilements, and attained the purity of the Dharma eye. Just as a newly cleansed white cloth, free of stains, is easily dyed in color, so too did the Brahmin, at that very moment, attain the purity of the Dharma eye. Having realized and seen the Dharma, he discerned it without doubt. Having reached fearlessness, he took refuge in the three jewels, Buddha, the Dharma, and the noble Sangha, accepted the five precepts, and became a true child of the Buddha, never to turn back. At that time, the Brahmin, husband, and the wife, having heard what the Buddha said, they followed it with joy. Yes, doctor.
Yeah. Also
Beautiful.
another long this is beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. You see two things very important. No. Okay, he seek refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and immediately after that is the five precepts. No.
Hmm.
It's the five precepts. This thing. So today there are many conversion ceremony. The same thing, So they say titam, okay, to what they call to seek refuge to the Buddha. Then they vow to observe the what they call to observe the Panchasila. Then the master, the monk will proclaim that you are a Buddhist. But today, of course, during Buddha's time, there's no such ceremony. It's always due to this voluntary this is a commitment, Okay, one practicing the voluntary. Okay, I will follow Buddha, I will follow the Dhamma, I will follow the Sangha. Okay, then I will observe the precepts. Okay, so you see, observe the precepts is always mentioned, Okay, then is also talking about without fear, okay, without doubt, reach the kind of fearlessness without fear. Okay, this and then and you see Buddha is very patient, Talk about generosity, talking about started no because he explained to the lay people. We're lay people. So he explained about generosity, about this. You should practice, okay? You should, without any fear, you should observe the what do you call eight normal paths, the four normal truths, or this thing, step by step. Okay, so you can see that even Buddha, to the very such a high stage, when he meet the lay people, he explained from the very beginning,
Yeah.
he never skip any step. He do not skip any step. Yeah.
So,
So I explained to them clearly. Okay, so that of course this sutra is a long sutra. You should read it. You should read it again and again. Okay, and I think it's self-explanatory.
yeah, I like
So
the way Buddha say that I am also the Shramana, I am also the Brahmin. It
the
means I
Brahmin.
am
Yeah.
both. There is no difference between these two technically, other than.
Yeah. Actually, in ancient India, the caste system and today is not the same. But Chinese have a very clear this description, What it, and also you can see in Agamas,
Yeah.
In Agamas, so many people come to meet Buddha, okay, and not all of them are Brahmin, they are Brahmanas, okay, the Brahmanas, no, okay, they 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 never mention any outcast, no, and the Chinese also borrowed the caste system from India. Chinese also have caste system, but there's no outcast in the Chinese system. No, there's no outcast. So in the ancient time, we also don't see any outcast or anything. That's only is a recent
In
some,
some introduction by
something
somebody,
something went wrong somewhere. Something
something.
went wrong somewhere. Okay, so Brahmin also is someone scholar, a great scholar. You call him a Brahmin. So like the Chinese, no? Okay, the highest in the society are the Mandarin. Mandarin are scholar. Chinese also have four systems. No? They also have four systems like the caste, like Indian. They also have four. The highest is the Mandarin. The second is the king, the landlord, the landlord, the huge farmer, the farmers. The landlord, the farmers, the king, the second category. The third category are the artisan. Or the ironsmith, the artisan, this thing. Okay. The last one, the lowest in the ground are the trader. But trader are not outcast, no. Many of them are very rich. Trader are very famous for their richness and this thing, no. Okay. And also through the agamas, no. We don't see any record of outcasts. So far, none. We have read through so many records, you know. Even the Upali. Upali is a very low-lying. Only the persistence is low. Now, of course, even our present society, you know, you have a general manager, the high position. You also have the general workers, no? Okay, but a human being, you're equal, no? Okay, position, you're not the same. But as a human being, you are equal. And you see it in the ancient India, no? You can see this kind of equality, you know. Anybody can come to Buddha and learn.
And they are so humble, doctor. The wife tells
Humble.
the husband and wife together go. Can you even,
Yeah,
no
yeah,
ego?
yeah.
No
No
ego.
ego, no ego.
They go and ask, and when they agree and they accept it, they immediately follow it till they, never ever to turn back again. They come, wow.
The same thing in China, no? When Matanga bring this 42 chapter to China, then it's opposed strongly by the Taoists, no? Taoists say when you meet the king, you should wear nicely, you know. Okay, but the Indian monk they expose the right shoulder, you know. He say and then he shave the hair, you know. This is the thing, you know. It looks so odd, you know. They tell the king, you know, who are they, you know? Okay, and they come to us and they try to promote the teaching to us. No. Then they challenge the Matanga to burn the text. And Tao text are all burned, you know, except the Tao Te Ching. Okay, then the Matanga bring a few texts and it's not burned, you know. Okay, then they are strong, they debate, a few hundred people, you know. They debate in front of the king and they are defeated by Matanga. On the spot, you know, all of them bow to Matanga. And all of them become his disciple, you know. And many of them asked to shave the hair to become the monk. So it's the same as India and China, this thing, you know. They respect knowledge. If you can convince them, they bow to you, you know.
Absolutely.
They
And
bow to
doctor,
you. If you can
doctor,
convince them.
yeah, doctor,
But
this
today,
one, this
today it's
Brahmin,
not
I
like
found.
that.
No, from this Brahmin, I liked one thing, where in the end it is saying that when just as a newly cleansed white cloth, free
Yeah,
of
yeah,
stains, means first
yeah.
wash your cloth. Wash yourself first, free of all stains.
What's your yeah.
Only then the dye of or the color of dharma can be understood.
Yeah.
Without cleaning, don't even try to. Without following Panchashila, don't even try to call yourself a
No,
practitioner.
yeah. Cleanse the mind.
First cleanse, yeah, as a white
And
cloth.
clean your body, you know. Clean your body by Panchasila. Yeah.
I think, doctor.
Buddha always say, those who observe the sila, no, they emit a kind of fragrance. They always say that it emit a kind of fragrance, no. The deva can smell the fragrance. Oh, of course, what do you call? But those who absorb this thing, you can see the serenity. Okay, we can see the thing. These are the thing. Okay, so observing of Panchasila is extremely important. Okay, uh, last time when I joined the Zen, you know, the Zen teacher are very strict in Panchasila. When come to stealing, you know, they all say you as long as the things not belong to you, you use it without permission, that's stealing. No? They say you need a pen, you say some pen, you use it without the permission of the owner. You write it, then you put it back. Now that itself is breaking the sila. Breaking it to that extent. To that extent. Then the killing also, of course, they don't kill the ant, they don't kill insect, they are very strict in ahimsa, to a very strict level. To a very strict level. Okay. So of course at the time I feel that very strict, you know. too strict, But today, after seeing all those shameless people in the society, all those idiots, I think we need to be very strict.
Yeah, true.
Otherwise, they take for a ride.
No, our forgiveness is considered as a foolishness.
No,
How
no, no,
dumb
no.
we
You
are.
forgive them, then they take you as idiot. You
Yeah,
become a fool.
yeah.
They become a fool.
No,
They
we become
openly
a
say,
fool.
"Oh, don't worry about Dr. Lim and
Yeah,
who are this thing now. I know how to manage him." You
that's
forgive them, you become a fool, You don't forgive
yeah,
them. You whack them.
absolutely,
You whack
absolutely.
them. No, no, you cannot forgive them. You forgive them, you become no, no, no. They are shameless now.
Mm-hmm.
Then you forgive them, they don't feel that they are doing anything wrong.
Uh, true.
Okay, then they look at you, they say, one more idiot is coming, one more donkey. We become donkey.
Uh, true. They
No,
can
no, no,
manipulate
no.
us.
We take action on them, we terminate them, we kick them out.
Yeah, true.
We are not goody goody in that sense.
So, Doctor, now today we will now wrap up. Will because the two verses were too long, and we finish
Yeah,
four
yeah,
verses today.
yeah,
Then we will take up and open the floor for questions. We have
yeah, yeah,
still
yeah.
more
I think
8 minutes to go.
the
So
question, yeah,
let's open the floor for question. And also, Doctor, if you
yeah,
could summarize, because we started with shame and remorse, then we understood the
yeah.
importance of dana and how more important is the dana of dharma to teach. And then we also saw how it's important to not differentiate and follow the Panchashil. Yeah.
That summarized. When you
Yeah.
donate, there are two kind of donation. One is materialistic donation. One is intangible donation. Okay, that's why we are teaching people. You are teaching sunya. You are promoting sunya. It's also donation. Okay, that's why we call it dhamma donation. Okay, so Buddha said that there is a two things. That is the highest way of donation. Second, that is the right way to pay respect to him as a teacher. Buddha said, "You want to respect me? Preach the Dhamma." Okay, you can send flower, you can send this thing to show your respect. It's okay, it's accepted. No, Buddha also never stop people from giving him gifts. No, people, a lot of people give gift to Buddha. He also accept. No, he never rejected. But he said that the best gift to him is what they call is Dhamma. Okay, then later on, come to this practice, no? Practice. Then you have to come from practice from the basic, like practice generosity, practice loving kindness. Okay, you should practice giving away. Then you should practice meditations. You should practicing. So this basic practice is important. Is important. Okay, then it's a differentiate between a holy man and a non-holy one. Okay, so your holiness is due to your action, not due to your birth. You become a Brahmin because of your actions, not because of your birth. But today is very different now. Today everything by birth, no. This is due to the British. Because British put it into your birth cert, put it into everything. Okay, then divide and rule, and ask section to fight for the other section, so that it's easy for them to rule India. So
True.
that's why it's better that you get a lot of record. Maybe in the future you get from China
China better.
the
Yeah.
record of even Southeast Asia also a lot of record about India. Remember Southeast Asia last time is many of them are the vassal states of India. You see when Malacca fall to Portugal, half of the military are Indian. Half of the military Indian, no, not Indonesian, real Indian. They're from southern part of India. They take them as a military, They take them at the. Of course, they also quite a lot of Chinese.
No, Doctor,
They
when
also
you say
quite a lot of Chinese.
India, we are not talking about the political map of India. We are talking about a culture that was there,
The
prevalent from
culture is
Kushan
there, yeah.
culture. When you say
No,
India, means it's the culture.
no. The Info India extend cover the whole Southeast Asia, no. You look at the Thai alphabet. Thai alphabet they modified from Sanskrit. The Thai alphabet and all this. Even Indonesia before that they also have alphabet. This thing. So that many of the king, like you see the first king of Malacca, no, Parameswara. He is a Southern Indian, accepted
Even
as a king.
even Cambodia, doctor. Cambodia is called
Cambodia,
Indian.
yeah. Even the Thai king, you see all the Indian blood, Okay, and it's a peaceful. No, India never sent troops to Southeast Asia, no. It's not. It's conquered by civilization, not by troops. Even today in Indonesia, the drama, the Mahayana, what they call this, what they call your Ramayana, they
Ramayana.
still they still performs, no? They still perform Ramayana until today. Okay, this is the thing. So many years ago, I attend one what they call one this a meeting in India, in Indonesia. So they do some performance. They perform something from Ramayana. So beside me, there's one Indian scholar. He is shocked at the line now. You see, in India we no longer do this, but in Indonesia, they are still performing. They are still performing
Like like
this thing.
like in Bali, Doctor Bali, the 84
Yeah,
verses
yeah,
of Bhagavad Gita are still being chanted.
yeah,
84
yeah, yeah,
verses
yeah. They
only.
still chant in Sanskrit.
Yeah.
But actually, the original 84 wasn't unadulterated. No.
Yeah.
That's why the original version of Bhagavad Gita, they get it from Pali.
Yeah, Bali, yeah.
Because it's unadulterated. It's not now in India, my goodness, a lot of masala. No. They add in a lot of add-on, a lot of add-on until it becomes 700 verses, I think. 800 verses.
Add on, add on, add on.
Oh my goodness. What happened to India? We didn't know this thing. They keep on add on, add on, add on.
But Doctor, this also today's verse also summarize what the Diamond Sutra says, that even if you fill up the all seven, the Tri Shastra, Mahasastra, Lok Dhatu with 7 types of jewels, but to teach 4 verses from the Diamond Sutra will always exceed in terms of the merits that you can receive.
Exit.
Yeah, exceed.
No, because Diamond Sutra must understand. Diamond Sutra say that the world that you're seeing is an illusion. The world you see. So I always use the movie The Matrix. You're living in a matrix world. That's why they say one day our AI is very, very advanced. Okay, so you go in the matrix world, so you become a millionaire, so you have a lot of $1 billion there. No, is that good anything? It's worthless. No, it's just an illusion. Okay, but why Dhamma Sutra is so important? We give you the key,
Key.
to get out from this illusion. So the Dhamma Sutra, how do you know it's an illusion? You say this is A, this is not A, we call it A. Then you know that this is Namarupa. Panchaskana and Namarupa, we know. Okay, this thing. And he said, what sort is that? He said, Dhamma also Namarupa. No? The teaching of Buddha also Namarupa. Okay, the achievement, no, the arhan, this thing, the stream, the this thing, also Namarupa, no. Okay, don't cling to that, Like what the Heart Sutra say, Okay, don't cling to anything, Don't cling to anything. The only thing, when you do not cling to anything, then you have no worry. You have no fear. Then you have no illusion. Then you can achieve Nirvana. That is the only way to achieve Nirvana. Okay, but you also can get it in the Heart Sutra. Okay, but Heart Sutra are more on yoga. To union your mind to the highest Heart Sutra on the highest level of yoga, the
Rupa and
union of
Shunya.
Sunyata and Rupa. They say
Yes.
Rupa and Sunyata, it is the highest in the yoga.
Because
Many
once
people
once
say
the
that Heart Sutra is a summary of Dhamma Sutra. It is not. Heart Sutra is not the summary of Dhamma Sutra.
the third
Dhamma
level
Sutra
yoga,
don't.
Doctor.
Ah,
The third level of yoga. The
yeah, third level of yoga.
yes.
But Dhamma Sutra don't talk about yoga.
No.
Dhamma Sutta talk about get out from this world, get out.
Yeah.
This
Get out.
Dhamma Sutta don't talk about union, mind and body. Don't talk about union. So that Hat Sutra and Dhamma Sutta represent two schools,
Mm-hmm.
Yogacara school and the Prajna
Prajna
Paramita
Paramita
school.
school. Ah.
And these two schools sometimes they're fighting to each they clash with each other, you know. Sometimes
And
they
why?
clash. Because Panya Paramita nothing, you know.
Oh,
Panya
okay.
Paramita nothing, you know. Then this Yogacara say, oh, they is Sunyata, no. Oh, they is Rupa, no. Hey, bearing this too, no. Then the Panya Paramita say, what to, nothing's there. What to bear? So sometimes they quarrel, no. And because of this quarrel, no, Swenchang go to India.
Aha. Okay.
Because now since they're confused now, whether it's there or it's not there.
Hmm.
Okay? So that time in China, they be argue now, the Atma is there or not there. Supreme consciousness is there, is not there. Soul is there or it's not there. Some say it's there, some say it's not there. So Swen Chang walk all the way to why he go to Nalanda? Why he go to why he didn't go to other university?
Takshashila.
Why he choose Nalanda? Because Nalanda is a yoga center.
Hmm.
Today, how many Indians know that Nalanda is a yoga center?
No, 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 not many.
No. Chinese know, but Indian doesn't know. It's very funny, you know. Better you bring back the theory back to India. It's a yoga center. Okay, so now we are going to launch these three universities. Okay, so we are going to launch AGAMAS to
Excellent.
honor the Taksasila. Okay, yoga, the Nalanda. Panya Paramita is this, what do you call?
Shri
Panya
Parva.
Paramita is this Nagarjuna from this Sri
Shri
Pawa.
Parva. Hmm.
Sri Pawa. Sri Pawa is so our Sunya is from Sri Pawa.
Shri Parva, Dr. Parva means the pigeon, right? The
Pigeon. Sri Pawa
uh,
means the holy
not
pigeon.
the not the mountain.
No, not the mountain. What to do with the mountain?
So,
They put become Parvata. Parvata
ah,
is mountain.
yeah, but Parva is a, a
No.
pigeon.
Pigeon, the white pigeon university.
Hmm.
Otherwise, it become holy mountain university.
Yeah.
They say Sri Pawata. Sri mean
Huh.
holy. Sri
Huh.
Pawata mean holy mountain. What? Holy mountain. No, Sri Pawa.
Uh, because there is this back.
India, I think something, I don't know, maybe over the history, over the year, many things have been distorted, you know.
Yeah.
Many things have been distorted. So we had to spend so much effort to write out the thing, but what can we do? We do
But
whatever we
luckily,
can, you know.
doctor, all the records as it is, without any kind of add-ons, lie in China. We are able to
Yeah.
access them today. Thanks to them, they've retained it for so many years. Great work.
One thing about China, they're very ridiculous now. Who did it, when it is, where it is, they record it very accurately, you know. So we know for sure when it said who are the monks this thing. Even from where he's from, you know. He's from Kusan, the Kashmir. Of course, like ancient Kashmir, huge empire, you know. And ancient Kashmir, including today this Rajasthan, Punjab, your the whole Pakistan, the whole of this, the whole Afghanistan, part of Iran, and also all your this the north, no, the Kazakhstan until the Caspian Sea, I think. Half of Xinjiang, no, half western part of Xinjiang they call it Pamir. Pamir, no? Pamir, you know, the Kashmir, on top of Kashmir, they call it
Is
Pamir.
Pamir.
Pamir, this thing. So, the empire, of course, the Chinese respect it as an Indian empire because the language used is Sanskrit. The language used is Sanskrit. If it's not Indian empire, then what empire is that? Sanskrit. They're using Sanskrit. So even Kumarajiva is respected as Indian, you know. Genetically, he's half Indian. So his father is Indian from India, okay, but his mother Kucha, no. Kucha doesn't look like Indian. Kucha look like Chinese. but Chinese refer Kumarajiva as Indian. Definitely an Indian. Because Kumarajirawa have Chinese name, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Chinese name, Chinese never use it.
They call him Kumarjiva.
Actually, they call him Kumarajirawa. No, to respect him, you know. Just I also have Dhamma name Nagajiva. Nobody used to. They still call it himself in now.
They still
No,
call
it's
you.
not much
Yeah,
like this thing. Okay. So now actually we are promoting back this agama. From the agama, you can look into the ancient India. Okay, you can look at the structure of the society of ancient India. Okay, then you can compare with the present days, no? Okay, you can. These are the thing. One thing we are very sure, no. The time Indian have a very high civilization.
yeah.
Even a law officer like Upali, he's a barber, no. He know how to write.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Buddha
Buddha
called
always asked
him
him to record now all the sila, no.
Sila.
Writing in India is very common, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's very and because to produce the palm leaf is easier than produce the paper.
Yeah.
Even today in a village they produce the palm leaf to us easily. They produce. You ask them to produce paper, they may not be able to produce paper, but to produce
Yeah.
palm leaf is very easy. They dry it, you know, then boil it in turmeric, I think.
Yeah.
They
Turmeric and
boil in the
neem.
turmeric, this thing to preserve it. Okay, then they no no there's a way. Okay, so we revise it back.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe next month when we have completed the Ekotara this thing, we should launch the Agamas.
Yes.
And at the same time, we will launch a university, bring back a university.
Yes.
You see, the University of Kumarajiwa and Swenchang is teaching until today, you know.
Mm-hmm.
After 1,600 years, they are still teaching today. You go there, they are still teaching.
Mm-hmm.
So we bring back the whole thing to India. We also started to teaching. First started to translate like mad. Chinese take about 400 years to translate what the Kumarajiwa mean to China. Also another 400 years what do you call, from this Swenchang,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and also from Kumarajiwa, from this Bodhidharma.
Bodhidharma.
Bodhidharma definitely bring a lot of tax to China. Definitely. But he's a prince now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and he established the Shaolin.
Mm-hmm.
Shaolin is the only university that is not burned down because protected by samurai.
Mm-hmm.
The Shaolin monk, no. There are a few times when the king try to send troops, try to destroy. No, they cannot. They have a few thousand militia. This thing. Also, the university in Japan also never been destroyed. Why? Because protected by the samurai. Who dare to touch the library?
True.
So the samurai system actually you trace all the way back to Bodhidharma.
Mm-hmm.
I think they foresee the problem, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The king doesn't like university. You know why? Because university always against they always free thinker, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, then people always donate money. Always then they lack in tax, no. Okay, so when come to the war time, then everybody become monk to avoid the military. So the king become very angry. That's why they burn down the Buddhist king burn down the Buddhist temple.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with Muslim. They burn it down 3 times
True.
because of the financial conflict. Three things, no. First, free thinker. They keep on criticize the government.
Mm-hmm.
No, even today the university is always
Yes.
criticizing the
Yes.
government.
Yes.
Even today. Okay, this is the thing. Secondly, is that taxes, no. Many
Mm-hmm.
people don't pay tax. They pay to the temple. They pay to this thing. Thirdly, when come to war, no, then quickly people the send the son and daughter to become monk to avoid become army. That conflict with the king, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's why the same thing happened in India. After the
Yeah. Same.
Asoka, why does the new one go and destroy this thing? No, because of the tax system.
Mm.
Because of not enough tax. Then not enough military militia. No.
Mm-hmm.
Then many people send the son and daughter to become monk. Then there is a collapse of population, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You see why ancient India they have a lot of sex temple?
Mm-hmm. To
Because
let
people
them go.
all send their son and daughter son to become monk, this thing, then they go for this low, what they call, low desire society.
Mm-hmm.
They enter the road. If this thing continue, then the population will collapse.
Yes. Like Mongol
Two
doctor.
people collapse for one Mongol.
Ah.
From 30 million, I think they reduced about 3 million, I think. 3 to 4
My
million.
goodness.
Then another one is the Tibet. Tibet is 30 million. No, no, it's not by war, no.
No, no, no. No
It's not by war. No, no, it's not by war, not by disease. Because everyone send the best son to the temple. Your best son, imagine your best son, my best son, all sent to the temple. Then what happened to the population?
My
When they
goodness.
become monk, they celebrate, they don't have sex.
Mm.
Okay? Then the population, the collapse, no, the population collapse, no. No joke, no. This thing. That's why you have to be very, very careful, no. The Panchasila also don't go to the extreme.
Yeah, true.
Don't go,
Doctor.
don't worship the
Yeah.
Sila. Yeah, this thing. That's why now you should understand why the ancient university have burned down. Nothing to do with religion, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's an economical problem, it's a military problem, it's a social problem, it conflict with the government, you know.
Mm-hmm.
In India, you say the Muslim burn down this thing. But they go to Nalanda, they don't find any sign of burning.
Mm-hmm.
Until today, the archaeology, they try
No
to dig,
proof. No proof.
no proof of burning.
No
You
proof.
see, burn down in 12th century. My goodness, in 14th century also, Tibetan
Yes.
still student there to study, you know. It burn down, how to study? This thing, actually, it's not burn down, it's decay.
Yeah.
Lack of support, you
Last
know.
last doctor, there's a record of the last abbot there, even in the 14th century, teaching around 100 to 150 people. He's still teaching.
Yes, still
But
teaching.
decay, yeah, decay, as you say.
The problem is that after that, they enter into this Sramana system.
Hmm.
This Sramana system, then they go for Abhidhamma, they go for Yogacara, yeah, they go for this type of thing, they go for non-Buddha teaching, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then the kind of teaching what to do with the day-to-day people.
Absolutely, yeah, true.
You go and this Abhidhamma, you go and
Hmm.
read and say, this Yogacara, you go and read and say, then you ask yourself what happy to do with our day-to-day living.
True.
Nothing, no. Then who is going to support you? You look at the Agamas, no, it's very, very day-to-day living, no, the Agamas. Okay, that's why we should promote Agamas, no. It's
Absolutely.
nothing to do with, something to do with us, no. Okay, then you go and read the Yogacara, what have it to do with you, anything to do with you? You go and try to go and read and say, I don't understand anything, no. When I don't understand, I don't teach.
And that's how
And
it should be.
I doubt who understand, you know.
True.
I feel proud, no. I'm a good student, no. I always study good, you know. Okay, if I don't understand, I think maybe 90% of people don't understand. No, we are not going to promote that, you know.
Yes, yes.
That's why you see, and this Yogacara is from this Nalanda.
And doctor, you see one thing from today's verse, we learned one more thing, that these people from the noble families who are, going to work out there, doing their jobs as agriculturists, astronomers,
Yeah.
they are writing skills, they have messengers. These are skills. And today what is
Yeah.
happening is, doctor, these are skills that you anyways acquire, but your education, your basic morality, this is missing from
Yeah.
education system.
They always say messenger, no. They never say,
Yeah.
oh, these people, they operate by memory.
No, no, their writing is a profession.
The greatest joke that I have ever heard is that all these things passed down by memory, you know.
How can you know
There's
it?
no greater joke than this. No. How can it be passed down by? You see, even the Buddha's time. Okay, you remember? There's one monk say that, oh, he make love with the nun, you know. Even when we confronted Buddha, I say, Buddha, you say that I can make love with the nun. No. Buddha say, Upali. Okay, bring in the text, no. When had have said that, they mean even people challenge Buddha, no. Hey, hello, Mister, you have said that, Buddha say, oh, I say that. Come, bring the record. That mean the record is there, no.
Yes.
Without record, then how? No, even in the extent, people say, oh, Dr. Lim said that. They say, hey, where is the record, Black and white. Where is the record? Where is my signature, Although anybody can claim, oh, Dr. Lim said that, Dr. Lim agreed to this, Dr. Lim this and that, Nah. If by memory, everybody can claim wonder,
Absolutely.
Okay, then in the chapter, I think this in one Nikaya, chapter 33, I think.
Where
There's
he tells,
one religious reader died.
yeah.
They are ahimsa, They don't kill and but because they quarrel, then they kill each other. Buddha said because they have no record. So they asked Buddha, they asked Sariputra, record down today what you're doing, compiling, I have back pain,
Yeah, I'll
I have to
rest.
excuse myself. Yeah,
Yeah.
please. Then the Buddha compile, then late into the night, the Sariputta compile everything. Then after that, they recite in unison. How to decide when you have no writing? Memory? This is a joke, This is a joke, Because they try to, because the problem is that many of the texts never mention when is it translated, where is it translated, not mentioned. When not mentioned, then they plug something from there. Oh, they say Buddha is speaking in Bali. How can Buddha speak in some language that not yet exists in the world? Just like Nepali told me, Mr. Buddha is Nepali.
Buddha is
I say,
Nepali.
yeah, thank you very much. But the time Nepal not yet exists now. How to become a Nepali? But am I? Of course, he is in Nepal now. He can call him Nepali, up to you. Okay, these are the thing, And he said that Buddha against Sanskrit. The time Sanskrit not yet exists, how to against Sanskrit? Idiots, no. So this kind of idiotic scholar around, be careful about them. Be careful about them, They simply plug something from the air and they simply talk, They simply talk, This, and the text, the thing, they have no record, nothing, then they simply claim, Oh, it's. Then they claim that Kasapa bring foreign people, okay, to ask Ananda to recite, to memorize everything, But in this Agamas, in the preface, Kasapa make it very clear, hey, Mother, all now, don't even comparison at all. Don't ask me to do comparison, not to say record for memory. And he even tell this Ananda, if you don't forget, if you forget any places, put it Sravasti.
Yes. If you don't remember the place where it
I
was
didn't remember the
spoken,
place,
put
then
that
put it
as
in
Shravasti.
Sravasti.
Yes.
Then how are you going to say that Nalanda, Ananda passed down everything by memory? He can't even recall when Buddha said that,
True.
No, everything they take note in this wax tablet. After that, they compile it. They write it in this
Palm leaf.
palm leaf. During the time of Buddha.
Real
Not after
time,
that.
doctor.
Real
Real
time.
time.
What Nalanda do is compile into 4 agamas.
Yes.
The time is loose, a lot, Then they come together. Then they systematically they put this one into Ekotarika, put this one into Samyutta, put this one into Niga, put this one into the Madhya Agama. You see, four agamas. The one is done by this Ananda. It mentioned clearly in the preface, The problem this is not mentioned in Nikayas. But mind you, we respect Nikayas,
Yeah, of
this
course.
thing.
We do it
Okay, the
every
only thing
Saturday.
that is not mentioned when it is translated, when is this thing. So when it's not mentioned, then they have all the wonderful claim, They came to the time of Buddha. My goodness. I think we don't waste our time on that,
I think no, not
Never
necessarily. We are
end,
doing
never
a
end. This kind of stupid scholar,
And
you
I
destroy
think, doctor,
everything,
you have simplified everything very nicely, saying that okay, if it is spoken by the Buddha, that's what we will be studying. That's what we
Yeah.
will be teaching. If not spoken by the Buddha, forget it. We have
Thank
nothing
you
to
very
do
much.
with.
No, you want to study? Go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
no. For us, it is not necessary.
But
For us, it is not.
nothing to do with us.
Yes.
No, no,
And I
we're not going
think
to study. No, you don't go in, you never come out. You never come out. My goodness, you never come out. I can give you many examples, you never come out.
I've seen many crackers like that, so I can understand.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, they say this one mind moment, into many sub mind moment, thousands of sub moment, one moment, how many moment? Okay, my goodness, all the name, all the number, all the report, all this. How to prove that? How do you know it's true? How to do any experiment to prove that? Nah, no proof, all back for the air, simply talk, and you couldn't find any of these things from any agamas,
But
from any
doctor,
sutra.
the purpose for this would be that I become more smarter than thou. I
Ah,
am
smarter than you,
more. Yeah, that is how.
I'm
That
the
is where the.
scholar, I'm
Yes.
the scholar.
Yeah. Do you know this? Do you know this? Do you know that? No, no.
If you
Oh,
don't
I
know
know
it,
it. Ah.
pay money to me, Give me
True.
good food, And give me high seat. And Buddha banned high seat, Now today, how many guru, how many these things sit on the high seat? Contradict to his teaching, But never mind, I think rest, don't waste our time to talk about them. Okay, so
Absolutely.
let us focus on Agamas and
Yeah.
Nikaya.
Yeah, doctor. Yeah,
Okay,
doctor.
I think we are very happy. I think by May we should be able to translate all the Ekotara. That will be an achievement.
Yeah, and
Okay,
I think we
yeah,
should appreciate the effort of the teams, both in the
yeah, team,
Nikaya
yeah,
and
yeah.
the Agamas.
My
You're
goodness,
doing a good job. Yeah.
yeah, our team work day and night, You
Yeah, they
should put
work
in
day
your
and night.
name also.
Yes, yes, doctor.
Don't only
Yeah.
just put my name,
No, no, no.
Put in your name also, yeah.
Under your guidance. Okay, doctor.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you
yeah.
so much.
Okay, okay. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
thank you.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you so much. Yeah.
Bye bye.
So, yeah. So that brings us to the end of another very interesting session on the Agamas. And every time we study a few of the verses and texts from the Agamas, we see another perspective into the ancient India. And if you understand how the country like India and its culture influence countries in Southeast Asia to a point that now they are affluent societies, they are peace-loving societies, and they are all progressive societies. I think that inheritance that is being offered to us by Dr. Lim back to us, saying that this is what is yours, and you Indians should take it back. I think that pride of taking back what belongs to us itself, it gives us the reason for us to connect with the teachings of the Buddha, and then actually studying it ourselves to analyze it, contemplate it on it, and then practice it into our daily lives, and then add it to our skill sets. Like whatever you do, you could be a computer engineer, you could be a machine operator, you could be a teacher, whatever it is, taking the dharma, applying it to your skill sets, bringing in the moral values, and then transforming the society and your own self. I think that's the way we should be going. So thank you so much for listening. We'll catch up again next week. Till then, thank you so much. Have a blessed week. Namaste.
It was spread throughout India. पूरी दुनिया में ये spread होगा. When India started to practice Sunya, जब इंडिया ने practice करना शुरू कर दिया शून्य का, but the ancient Chinese described Sunya, India, जैसे जो Chinese थे पुराने, उन्होंने इंडिया के बारे में कुछ बताया है. Simple, वो एक साधारण देश है. Elegance, लेकिन उसमें कुछ खूबसूरती है. Most importantly, majestic. और सबसे बड़ी चीज है महान. शाबाश इंडिया. तो ये है इंडिया. साधारण, खूबसूरत और महान. It was spread throughout India. पूरी दुनिया में ये spread होगा. When India started to